Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're working on this Audi A4. I was originally approached with this car in a view to break it. I personally think it's too good for that because it's still relatively low miles at 131,000. Everything seems to work on the car electrically, even the air conditioning, and it just seems too good to me to break and sell the bit separately. I mean, that's what this channel's all about, is keeping cars going really, and not and scrapping being the last resort. I've never scrapped a car in all the time I've owned cars, so this video really is going to be a bit of a look round and see what work we need to do to put it back on the road. Kind of minimal effort with this one. It's not going to be perfect by any means. He's had a knock on one corner where a deer ran out in front of him, so it has pushed this bumper over a little bit, as you can see here. But other than that, it's only just run out of MOT. It's beginning of April. It's been out of MOT for a month, and it hasn't done many miles since then. It's got a new set of pads and discs all the way around, so as usual, ignore the trains. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be an awful lot wrong with this. It's not been used for quite some time. Obviously it was MOT'd last year. It's not done many miles since then. I can't remember exactly what, but yeah, this video is really just going to be a look round, see what we need to do, and go from there and decide ultimately what needs to be done. So under the bonnet here you can see that we've got the mighty V6 3.2 FSI engine. I have got the battery cover there. It's not got the right battery on it at the moment. I'll just throw that on there while I charge the original, and hopefully bring that back to life. There's a bit of damage here to the headlamp that's been glued. Obviously when he hit the deer, annoyingly it's probably the better headlamp out of the two. It's not too bad. It's starting to cloud up at the end here, but I mean, minor details on that one really. We could probably rub them down and put some clear coat or something over them, some clear lacquer. Okay, so let's give this bad boy a start up. As you can see there, we've got a couple of warning lights up there. We can have a look at that later on. Mileage is 131,419, as you can see there. You can see revs coming down now. Sounds quite nice, I think. Alright, let's see the roof come down on this. So let's get underneath this thing and have a look. So with a bit of initial looking around here, it actually doesn't look too bad under this car. We've got this brake caliper that I need to put back on or refit properly. You can just about see there's a bracket that's loose there. And if I move around to here, you can see that there's the brake pipe which has been folded over just to stop any brake fluid coming out. Looks like we've got a bit of wiring here that's potentially rubbed through, so we might need to remake that connection. Oh no, that's the, yeah, that looks like it might be the brake pad wear sensor. You can see there's the plug for it, so we'll have to do something with that. All in all, let me get you around the right way. It's quite difficult to film, but all in all, this doesn't actually look too bad. Looks like we might have a bit of an exhaust leak just here. There's a little bit of oil. That's probably coming from, well, obviously from the engine somewhere, but probably rocker gasket or something like that. Got another plug on the offside rear front wheel as well. The rear looks pretty good on this car, so not really gonna mess around too much with this. As I say, I just want this to be fairly cheap and easy to do. I think it's going to need 4 tyres. Being a Quattro, it's 4-wheel drive. Right, let's take the wheels off and have a look, see what's going on with these brake calipers. These are loose, as the guy before, he had this up on axle stands. He literally lives 2 doors down, so let's get this off and have a good look. I think this is going to need some new tyres. I mean, the other side is it's got some nicks cut out of it, but they are all pretty worn down to the markers anyway, so at the very least it needs 4 new tyres. Probably best to replace all 4 at the same time, it being a 4x4 Quattro setup. There is 5 bolts. The other ones are in the car. As you can see, these are quite new discs. These will clean up nicely when we first apply the brake. So as you can see, here is our bracket. I need to find out where that lives. This must be our wear sensor, and as we can see, here is just a small section of pipe that goes down to our brake caliper here. Sorry for the shaky handy work there. Let me see if I get round the back. So I don't know if you can see around the back here, that's where our bracket must go on to. That's where the brake pipe obviously goes into the caliper here. So I don't think that's going to be a massive issue really. So all in all, I mean, I know this is a bit of a strange video, this one, but all in all, I don't think this needs a massive amount of work to get it back on the road. By the looks of it, 4 new tyres. I'm no expert with this sort of thing. CV joints, CV boots all look good. As far as I can see, all the rubber bushings look good. Obviously I need to get a bar or something in there just to make sure there's no movement, but it all feels pretty tight, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty tight and solid, to be honest. So yeah, again, I really don't think there's a lot wrong with this car, and I don't think it would take much to put it back on the road. Personally, I think 4 new tyres, as I said before, repair this brake, hose here. I've got a flaring tool, so we'll probably do a flare, and then try and bend it into roughly the same shape as what's already there. Won't be doing that today though. This is just a simple, I just wanted to check everything over and see if this is a viable project that we can put this back on the road, really. That was all. So yeah, I'm going to continue having a look round, and I'll come back to you if I see anything that I think will cause us an issue. And as far as I can see, not a lot. Probably get an advisory for that oil leak, but we could probably try and see where that's come from. We can see that we're missing a bit of the arch liner on the offside there. We could probably take that and have a look round there and make sure that it's all okay over on that side, since where it's hit the deer there's a little bit of trim missing on the fog light, on the offside fog light, but again, that's cosmetic really, rather than whether it pass or fail an MOT. Let's have a look. We'll have a look on the other side actually, and see what we got over there. But I really don't see there being much work to put this car back on the road. Oh, and the offside headlight, we either need to replace it or repair the bracket on it. Might try and repair it, got nothing to lose. Worst case, another headlamp. So I just took this caliper off just to have a quick look at, see what we need to do here. This is, as I said before, is the brake pad wear sensor. As you can see, they're pretty brand new. It has rubbed through the wire a little bit here. Just get that in shot. There we go. Right. It's gone through both of them there. This is just an outer sheathing that protects all this. So I've got some joints that we'd probably be able to remake that up with. I mean, if you really wanted to bodge it, you could just put some insulation tape around both of these and tape it up again, because the actual cable itself, the actual wire that carries the current, is all still intact. It's just rubbed through the insulation there. So again, that's kind of good, because then that means we don't need a new brake pad for it. Here's a better look at the end that's been crimped. Probably actually buy this rather than making it, but I think it would be a bit of fun to make a new fitting up. I've got all the bits. So here's the offside, or the driver's side. As you can see, we are missing the wheel arch lining. It's been obviously ripped off here where to get him home. But yeah, I mean, it looks all pretty straight, to be honest. Obviously there's a little bit of a misalignment between the bumper and the headlamp and the wing here, so we need to work out what's going on there, but it's nothing major, nothing structural. All looks good. Again, all these bushes and things are all pretty tight. I'm not too sure what was supposed to have gone there. I have to have a look on the other side for that. Spring all looks good. everything is just tight, as you'd expect. I mean, if it's had an MOT last year and it's not done many miles, then you can't expect much to be wrong with this, really. So that's a little bit of a disjointed look at this Audi here. I really don't think this is worth scrapping. I think there's loads of life left in this car. There isn't going to be much to put it back on the road. By the looks of it, it's just a brake caliper and a new set of tyres, to be honest. To scrap it, I think it would be silly. They're not massively valuable, these cars. Depending on mileage, you're looking at around the £2,000 figure. I think we'd only get about that sort of money even if we parted it out, but it's in my opinion, it's just too good for that. So yeah, sorry it's a bit of a weird one, this. Hopefully in the next video we'll have a look at well, certainly in the next Audi video we'll have a look at repairing that caliper. Tyres I think will cost probably about £100 a corner, maybe, for fairly cheap ones. So I mean, if we could get this through an MOT with just tyres, then that's got to be worth doing, isn't it? Certainly not worth scrapping it. The guy did mention that he thought the dual mass flywheel was on its way out. He done the clutch last year, but he never actually replaced the dual mass flywheel with it, which, as you've seen in my Passat video, that's a silly thing to do. But that's just my opinion. It's not a job I'm keen on wanting to do myself, purely and utterly because he told me that it needs some kind of preload tool to preload the clutch. I haven't actually looked into that yet, so I don't know what he's talking about there. It's not something I've come across myself. So yeah, anyway, if you've got this far, well done. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.